Okay, tool not review time. It's not a review because I haven't really used it yet, but it's a tool look at time. You can probably see from the upside down writing on this case that this is an Einhell tool. Now, I'd previously thought of Einhell as being dog shit grade, supermarket quality tools, and that's mostly what they are. I've got an Einhell grinder and it's shit. But I'm reliably informed that they have 3 grades. Stuff that there's the C grade or consumer grade, they have the E grade or the expert grade, and the P grade, which is professional apparently. So the C grade you want to stay away from. The E grade, some of the stuff's good, some of it's not, and the P grade stuff is apparently halfway decent. It's not going to beat Einhell TE and all the other really big brands, but apparently pretty decent. So I've had problems with my drill driver, which was a Makita. The batteries don't hold charge anymore. Getting hold of 14.4 batteries is a pain in the arse. They cost an arm and a leg, and they've got no capacity. I also had a Makita 18-volt impact driver, which was great, apart from the fact that the batteries shit themselves when my mate tried to charge them in sub-zero temperatures, which left me with no batteries that worked. You could charge them by hokey methods, but basically no, the charger didn't want to know. So while they still had some value, I flogged them, and I've picked up this. Now this is an expert grade. It's an Einhell TE model driver, which means that it's pretty much equivalent to a low-level Makita stuff, low-grade Makita stuff, the cheap stuff. It's a brushed drill driver, but it has a removable head with an angle drive on it, which is something that I've wanted for quite a while, having seen the green and grey one that costs a fortune. So let's have a look. What have we got? I'm only going to cover the stuff that I haven't seen covered in other videos, so I'm not going to cover drilling stuff in with it. I'm not going to cover all the other stuff. It's just my thoughts on the stuff that hasn't been covered. So the first thing, we've got a case. The case is all plastic. Looks to be relatively tough. You're going to need to be careful with these because they're plastic things. If you tread on them, they're going to break. It's not the best. It's not the best thing, but it's not a parkside case either. So open it up, as is traditional, and we look inside. What you'll see is this is not a blow molded case. So usually when you buy a drill driver, it's blow molded and everything fits in one place. This is not that. It's just a foam packed case. What we get is we get 2 batteries. They are 2 amp-hour batteries, which is a bit fucking cheap, I think, but there you go. The batteries for this entire system aren't enormously expensive, so I could shell out and get a couple of 4 amp-hour batteries for 50 euros. There's a charger which works. I've charged the batteries. There's a box of bits which are shit grade, frankly. They're not very good at all. They do just as well just not to put them in there. We have a drill driver. We have a replaceable head which has a driver bit on one end and goes on here like so for driving stuff right up in corners. That could be kind of useful. Not the most useful bit. There's an angle head, and there is a drill chuck. There's also a belt clip. But if you put the belt clip on here, you can't shut the case. That's fucking useful, isn't it? Well done, Einhell. So obviously, the home user isn't likely to be using a belt clip all the time, or maybe they are if they're cosplaying as a professional. I don't use belt clips anyway. I'm like that. Don't like them. Don't like having a heavy thing hanging off my belt, pulling my trousers down around my ankles, because I'm not a fucking rapper. Now then, this has got all the usual drill driver stuff on it. It hasn't got percussion. It's got drill mode. It's got screwing shit in mode with a whole bunch of meaningless numbers in terms of small number is low torque, big number is high torque. forwards, backwards, stop. It's got a work light on it. Work light's pretty good. You don't have to, well, you do have to drive the tool, but it stays on after you let go of the trigger. That's quite good because a lot of tools don't do that. It's brushed, like I said. I would have preferred a brushless model, but they don't do a brushless model with a removable head. Remove the head, same as most removable head stuff, big hilty drills and all that sort of stuff. Unclip, take off. Inside you will find a tool bit holder. We're going to use one of our shit tool bits for testing, for looking at. In here, yeah, you've got a couple of nut drivers. They're probably going to fall apart as soon as you try and put any torque on them. There's a countersink bit which is not sharp and looks to have shit geometry. There's some short stubby bits. That's quite neat actually. You can put a stubby driver bit in here and then put the drill chuck back on. That's quite cool. Means that you can have the drill chuck set up for pre-drilling and have a bit in there ready to drive and just pop the drill chuck off. Cool, that. And then we've got some longer driver bits and some very shit wood drills. Oh, and a positive action driver holder, bit junk. So, grab a bit at random. Let's grab a Posi Drive 2. I don't like Posi Drive, but that's the screws that I've got floating around, so we'll have a look at that. So you bung that in there. It's not a positive locking action setup, it's magnetic. So, clink. But, you know, if you wave stuff around fast, you might lose things. It's the same setup here as on the angle head. There we're in. It seems to hold reasonably well, and on the offset head as well. There you go. Something that you can do with this, which apparently you can't do with the green and grey one, is this. Angle head, drill chuck, drill round corners. That might be useful next week at work. I'm going to give it a go. One of the things that I haven't seen covered is whether these are magnetic. They are magnetic, which means that you should be able to hold a screw on the end. Let's find the screw. There's one in here, I'm sure. There we go, there's the screw. So this is a little Posi Drive 5mm screw. Put that on there. Will this hold a screw on the end of the driver? Yes, it will. That's good. Now, the main reason I wanted an angle driver, an angle head, was because I do quite a lot of stuff that involves screwing into angles, and angle attachments spin round. This doesn't. It's fixed, which means you don't need one hand to hold this, and one hand to hold the attachment, and another hand to hold the screw. And in this case, by the looks of things, hey, don't even need to hold the screw. Well, you might need to hold it a bit. That's that. That's reasonable. Quite happy with that. So, bit pissed off that these are only 2 amp hour batteries. Build quality is, it's not too bad. Doesn't smell too Chinesey. It's got a relatively nice action on the button. I would have preferred to go with their professional range, which is brushless. Charger seems to work. It's not very fast. It's not a fast charger, but then I don't like fast chargers. They kill your batteries. These heads fit on at 45-degree angles, so 90, up, come off, 45, every 45 degrees all the way around. Quite cool. Tool bits are fucking useless. Belt clip stops you being able to close the case. Case is a bit chintzy anyway. There you go. Einhell tool. I will tell you how well it works once I've tested it properly. Bye.